What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, welcome back to a little two-part video, if you want to call it that. I'm going to be talking about the news of Calderón leaving, and I'm going to be talking about the retain list being announced. They've done the retain list not long after they've announced the Calderón news that he's sacked. I'm not sure why they've just put he's left. They've done the same with George Friend. They've obviously sacked both of them. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down below on the Calderón situation and on the 9 players that have been released as well. I'm sure most of you would agree with both, but the comment section is there for you to leave your opinions and your thoughts. So make sure you do that. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, keep up the quality support. Let's get straight into the Calderón news. To be honest with you, I thought that it was either going to be announced today or tomorrow anyway. Yeah, why would they sort of leave something like that? Yeah, it's unfortunate because when he was announced on Boxing Day, when we were on the way down to Exeter, those that went, I think everyone was pretty happy and excited. The fact that, you know, a young coach that has had, you know, really good, write-ups, and other fans, especially Brighton, has said really good things about him. And, you know, we've gone down the route before of sort of experience before, and it hasn't really worked. But it just hasn't worked out whatsoever. I mean, yeah, I've gone on about the record. He's actually been in charge of 26 games. I don't know why FootMob have put 27. They've obviously, because he was announced on the day of Exeter, they've put that he was in charge. But if you go and look at it, it's 26 games overall if you include the Ipswich game. But yeah, 26 games, 6 wins, 3 draws, 18 losses, 17 losses in the league. 21 points out of available 75 he's picked up. I mean, the home form, you know, he actually started off with the 2 losses. Stevenage away, which was his first game, which was shocking in the end. But you could see the style. Leyton Orient, the following game, you could see the style, even though we lost. But I think we deserved something from that game. And then we had the back-to-back wins with the Ipswich game in the mix of that as well. We obviously beat Barnsley. We beat Burton as well. You know, we were looking. It was looking up. The football was exciting. We were creating chances. And then we had those 2 away games. I think it was Wigan and Charlton where we conceded 4 goals, lost both games, didn't score a goal. It was awful. And then we got back on track with then a couple more wins. I think we drew with Stockport. We, had some other wins in that as well. But then there was a time where I think it was 4 games without a win with 3 losses. I think we got the draw at Shrewsbury as well. And then we're thinking, wow, 4 games. I remember doing the video, 4 games without a win at this stage. You know, we cannot do this again. Then we go and get the back-to-back wins. And you're thinking, wow, we're 9 points clear of Burton. We're 12 points clear of Crawley. You know, when Calderón actually took over, I think we were 2 or 3 points above the relegation zone. So we had got some good wins in there, even though we'd been on, I think, a 3-game run without a win, then a 4-game one without a win. But then you're thinking, this run now is it's crazy. We've talked about it so much, but yeah, you can't go 10 games without a win, 9 losses in that, not scoring, hardly creating any chances. Yes, there was injuries, but Calderón said it in his interview, we've struggled with the strikers being injured, but I said the other day on Having a Gas, even with the players fit, we've struggled all season for goals anyway. But yeah, this run we've been on yesterday just summed it up. The shambles that was Blackpool. But if you look at his record, we go at home games, scored 21, conceded 21. 13 home games, we won 5. Of course, it didn't help the 5 losses in a row to end the season as well at home. 5 wins, 1 draw, 7 losses. 16 points out of 39. But you then go to the away record that we were hoping that would improve. We had some games that we properly messed up in, including Northampton. That was one of the worst games. We only picked up 1 away win out of 12 games. I think that was his second away game as well, Cambridge, where we won 1-0. 5 points out of a possible 36 on the road. 6 goals scored, 23 conceded, and his record reads 1 win, 2 draws, 10 losses. And in that time as well, 26 games, we've not scored in 10 of those. And yeah, I do feel sorry for him because he showed the passion. He obviously cared, but it was just too much for him. And looking back at it, I think we can all admit it was the wrong appointment. We needed, someone, experienced and that has been in a relegation battle before. And it's just ended terribly, of course. So, yeah, my thoughts on him. If he would have kept us up, I would have kept him. But even with all the mess, the interference, you still can't, go through all of that, awful run and, one of the worst points per game we've ever had. 6 wins at 26 games is just terrible with 18 losses. It's not good enough at all. But, yeah, I wish him well, him and his family. I'm gutted that it hasn't worked, but unfortunately, it's a results business and the results have been absolutely terrible. I don't think he's the right man to lead us forward. Like I said, if we would have kept us up, if he would have done his job, then I would have kept him. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, leave your thoughts on what manager you want, but it doesn't really matter what manager we get if the shambles is continuing. I don't know if I mentioned it already, but we're on to our 4th manager now in 18 months. It's an absolute shambles. But yeah, that's enough of the Calderón stuff. Like I said, I wish him well. It hasn't worked out, relegation. But yeah, let's get on to the retain list. And yeah, like I said at the start, it's pretty much what we expected. 9 players have left. I completely forgot about Jerry Lawrence as well, who'd been out on loan. He's left. Maka, Sawyers, Grant Ward, Sinclair, Jack Hunt, Martin, Matt Hall, Giovanni Brown. Unfortunately, hardly any of them have worked out. The most person I feel sorry for out of all of them is Jack Hunt because of the situation, the shambles that he was getting changed on his own. A player with his quality. Because the thing is as well, a lot of people said he was injury prone. I've actually spoke to him and messaged him, and he's not been injured. He might have had a slight knock, I think, for Stockport away, but the way he was treated has been nothing but disgusting. And even if he would have been offered a new contract, he wouldn't have signed it anyway. And he's missed his family, but the rest of, and Martin is gutting as well because the injury. He's still staying on with doing the rehab because he isn't going to be available until August, late September at the very most. So I'm gutted for Martin because I think he had 21 goals in I think 40 odd starts, which is brilliant, and he was an amazing finisher. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just that injury. He's also been released, and the one player that has been offered or triggered in his extension is James Wilson. He's going to be here, but even then, I don't know what the ins and outs of that are. Is he still allowed to leave? I don't know, but I think if one player, and I know a lot of people will have their opinions on him, and fair enough. I think that one player that deserves to stay is Wilson, because like Neil said, and he gets a lot of things right that he says, Neil, players like Martin, players like Hunt, players like Connor Taylor, players like Wilson, players like Luke Thomas, they didn't sign up for any of this BS that's going on. They come in for Joey's thing, a good squad. I know that ended poorly, and I wouldn't have him back, of course, and rightly so. But they didn't sign up for this mess. They did not sign up for this mess whatsoever. So yeah, there you go. I'm sure there's going to be other players either put up for transfer list or going to be leaving in the coming days, weeks, etc. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I would have personally give Hunt and Wilson a deal. Martin, if he would have been fit, I would have given him a deal as well. But the rest of them, not good enough. Way too poor. I said about the window, all the loan players have gone back as well. Reindorf, Swinkles, Souza, Roberts. All them lot have gone back. Wish them all the best. But unfortunately, hardly any of them good enough for the club. And massive rebuild ahead. So leave your thoughts Apologise, it's been a bit of a longer video, but like I said, I wanted to get 2 in 1. I will leave timestamps for those watching as well. So yeah, leave your thoughts, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Up the gas.